Okay, good day, student. This is our second lecture. This is chapter 1. We will continue with chapter 1. In the last lecture, we talked about chapter 1 and actually we didn't finish chapter 1 the last lecture because we spent most of the time on introductory lecture about the course and what we are going to do in the course. Now, in the last lecture, we talked about communication and network central cord. We discussed how now these days the technology and the internet is affecting our life and our business. As you remember this figure, we discussed how the uh, online meeting is affecting the companies now around the world. It is reducing the cost, the time that they spend for traveling all these. Uh, and also, we discussed how the networking have direct impact on our life. Like, for example, now WhatsApp, most of you using WhatsApp. Now, WhatsApp is have direct effect on our life. You can send now message to a group of people up to 50 user at the same moment. Like, this is really have effect on the social impact on our life, like how you deal with your friends, family, on this stuff. You can keep communicating with your closest friend even when you are at home, when you are traveling, whatever, whenever you are. Sometimes even in the lecture you are sending WhatsApp. Is that right? Yeah. Okay, don't do that. Anyway, the way that we learn have also effect. The network is affecting. Now what we are doing right at this moment, I'm recording this lecture. It's going to be available on the internet. You can watch it later at your home. This is a new thing. The way you play, you now more playing online games. It's day by day it is changing. So when we talk about communication, the network communication or any communication have the same concept. This is two human. When two humans need to talk, they need first to identify the sender and receiver. They need to agree on the method of communication. Are they going to talk face by face, by phone, chat, whatever the way that, what the language? You both, when you talk with someone, you need to use the common language. Are you going to talk in Arabic, Indian, Chinese? At least the same accent sometime. You must change your accent to people understand you. And also the speed and timing. You cannot talk very fast and the other is trying to talk slowly with you. You need both to take at the same time, at the same speed. And about confirmation, good example about confirmation, how you nod your head. Okay? When someone talk and you want to show him that you understand what you do, you nod your head. Is that right? Yeah, now some of you just nod their head when I say it, is that right? And some of you was just sitting like this, okay? So when people nod their head, moving like this, mean that they understand what the other person is talking about. Now, quality of communication, we discussed the factor that has direct effect on the quality of communication, like the distance, the path between the sender and receiver, the type of the message, the timing of the message, the amount of time allocated for successful communication also. These are all factors that are affecting any communication. There is some internal factor that have direct effect on the quality of service factor, like a quality of the communication, like message size. We talked about it. When you go to your car in the front of the mall and go after shopping, you go to your car, you find someone put a piece of paper on the windshield, front windshield. It is about ad. If they have a page that is full with text, a lot of text, and you can know that this is ad. Are you going to read it? Probably no. But if there is a beautiful page that is written one big word, okay, and open like this, now open, you're going to read it because it's a short message. Another example, if someone walks the car and he found a love letter on his windshield, is that right? What he going to do? Even if it is long, he's going to read it, believe me, okay? Because he won't who's written this and put the heart on the letter, okay? So these factors are really affecting the quality of the message, the size, the complexity, the importance of the message. This is all factors that have direct effect. Now, this is all we have discussed. We discussed the traditional network. We said that traditionally, the network is like this. We have computer network, telephone network, and broadcast network for TV. We have three different networks, internet, telephone, and TV. Now, these days we have it. But now, day by day, things are changing. People are moving to this type of communication. It is about convergence. Everything is going to be put together. The phone, the internet, the TV is going to be in one network. And this is what happened right now. This is happening in USA, in Asia, in Dubai, in Muscat. They start already doing this project. So this is the future. Now, we also discussed the planning for the future, how it's have direct effect. The future is going to be different. People are not going to read the newspaper anymore. Maybe you are the generation that are not reading a newspaper anymore. If you want to know the news, you're going to open a website. So there is still some people from the previous generation still reading paper, but they are going to distinguish in the near future. So the new human network is just coming up. It's about meetings, it's about doing business, about to play, study. It is always going to be online using the network. Supporting the network architecture. Now, the current network architecture have some characteristics that need to be addressed. These are important characteristics for any network now, and we need to focus on these parameters in order to have a great network for the future. It is already addressed from now, and people are working on it. They already find a solution for it, but we need to dig deeper on it. First of all is fault tolerance. This is the fault tolerance. This is the traditional network, circuit switching network. In circuit switching network, the data was transferred in fixed path. Sorry, like this one, as you can see in the figure. This is the red one. Yeah, the data, the phone call is transferred through this path. And what happened if you are in the middle of the phone conversation and any cut happen in the middle here? Any problem happen in the middle, right here? What is going to happen? Your phone call is going to terminate immediately. If you are lucky and the provider is good, your phone call will be forwarded in another direction, but you must make a new phone call. Fault tolerant in the packet switching network is like this. It is different. That this is the sender, and we have here the receiver, or vice versa maybe. That could be receiver and this is sender. Anyway, the data is sent in small packets. That's why we call it packet switch network. It's not like a voice, a stream. No, it is a small packets. Small packets. These packets is representing by, as you can see, the messages symbols. So when you send data from one point to another, what is happening actually? Your data is divided into small packets, and these packets is going to travel the network, the internet, through different routes. Some of them is going to this way, some of them going this way. But there is some important parameter that need to be addressed, which is the source address, destination address, and sequence number. These parameters need to be written in every message. Of course, any packet, any small packet, we need to put the source address and destination address. And of course, the sequence number, so that the receiver at the end, when get the message, can put it in sequence again. and it makes sense when it's putting on sequence. We talked about scalability and how the service provider are affecting now in every like country. We have several service provider. In Oman, for example, we have two service provider, which is Omantel and Nowrest, and there is a direct connection between these service provider and with other service provider in the region and the world, and that's how the data is moving between Oman and UAE, for example, and between Europe. It's a collection of service provider together that have connections that will allow the data to be moved between one place and another. This is how it's moved. Service provider are doing that. Now, quality of service. What is the quality of service? Good example about quality of service. Have you been in a hospital before? Anyone? Come on, at least once in your life you have been in a hospital. Where you get birth. Okay, your birth was in a hospital, is it? Okay, so you was in a hospital at least 1 year of your time life. Now, let's ask you this. If you are in a hospital, imagine this. You know, every hospital have emergency. Now, in the emergency, let's say that you entered the emergency and your little finger have pain. Okay, in this finger, you have pain in this finger, and you decide to go to the emergency. And at the same time, someone entered the emergency with a major head injury. What do you think? Who's going to be treated first? You with your little finger or the one with the head injury? Yeah, of course, the one. Now, why they treat the one with the head injury first? What do you think? More effective? Yeah, what else? What do you think? It is time sensitive. What could happen to your finger after 1 hour of waiting? Maybe the worst case scenario, they're going to chop down your finger, okay? But what could happen to the major hand injury person if you wait a few minutes? Yeah, it could die, okay? So this is about time sensitive, is that right? So time sensitive is one of the important factors. There is a lot of important things. So time sensitive communication. There is two types of data, or the priority for decision and organization may include the following. There is time sensitive communication, there is non-time sensitive communication. There is high important and there is what? Undesired communication. There is different type. Now, let me ask you the following. Oh, we'll discuss it later. I'm going to skip that. Network security, one of the important things. Now, we have day by day a new network threat. If you hear the news, there is a lot of headline stories now in the news about the American gets spy on Europe and on Germany, and this is all about security now in these days. So there is a different type of security threat, like identify thief, criminal, cheat, competitors. How you can protect it? You can protect by different way, by firewall, access policy, data and encryption. We discussed each one, what does it mean in the previous lecture. Now, this is where we stopped last lecture. Now, today we are going to talk about LAN and WAN and Internet. Now, the component of the network. In the network, we have different components that can categorize in three main components. First of all is the device, media, and service. So when we say device, what do you mean by device? Device, usually, this is the device. If you can see, this is a device, this is another device, this is a device, and here in the middle is what? Also devices. These are the devices. It's any device. Could be server, PC, switch, router. These are the media. Media actually is what is connecting devices together. These we usually refer it as wires. This is the media. It could be wire. The most common media is telephone wire. Telephone wire is a media because it is moving the data inside the wire. And it could be wires, it could be like, for example, fiber optic, it could be wireless, it is still media. And we have services. What is services? Yeah. See, services, it's the core of the internet or the network. We have devices and we have media to provide the services. Can you give me an example about the services that you get through the network at Sohar University? Yeah, registration is one of the services. What else? SULMS, is that right? These are all services. Email services. WhatsApp is a service. Okay? Chat is a service. Web browsing, looking for information in the internet is a service. Now, let's go deeper in the end device. Example about end device. End device is any device that is at the edge of the network. Like, for example, if we have this computer, this is at the end of the network. This could be what? Called end device, because there is no more connection in the other part. So this is the end device. Example about end device is what? Yeah, laptop, servers, voice over IP phone, security camera, mobile is end device. All these are end devices. Now, see, usually in this course, I'm going to draw the end device like this. When you see this means end device. This is how I see the laptop. Okay, I know it's ugly shape, but this is the laptop from now on. So when I draw something like that, I mean by it is what? End device. Yes. Ah, okay. Still? Can you hear me now? Is it okay? Okay or not? Hello? Is it okay now? Yeah. How is the voice now? Not okay? Let me check. Okay. I hope the voice is okay now. We're going to, we stopped here. This is network infrastructure. See, network infrastructure is the devices in the middle. These are the devices that provide the internet, the network that it is now in these days. Good example about this. First of all, we have network access devices. Network access devices, they are the devices that you are directly connect to them. Now, for example, when you use your laptop in the wireless network connection, where is your laptop is connecting to? Yeah, it is connected to the wireless access point. This is the wireless access point. Usually, and can you see this black box here on the wall? Yeah, this is wireless access point. This is provide wireless service to the theater that we are now. I'm usually going to draw the wireless access point to something like this. Okay, when I draw something like this means what? Wireless access point. Another device is the switch. Switch is what? I'm going to draw it like this. Switch is the device that is connecting to a wires, and each wire usually connect to the end device. It's not always, but usually connect to the end device. And this is in the lab. Now, in the lab, all the computers in the lab are connected somehow. They are connecting through what? Switch. Okay, this is the switch. We have internetworking device, routers. Routers are devices, smart devices that provide connectivity in the network. We'll discuss it during this semester. Security devices also. A good example about them is the firewall. These are kind of devices that provide security and protection to our networks from the attacks. Media. These are common type of media. Copper media. This usually used by telephone lines. In the lab, the RG45 connection you are familiar with, and the copper wires. You know what is copper? Nuhas. Yeah, okay. These are the copper wire, the most common type of wiring. They are good, but there is something better than the copper wire, which is fiber optic. Fiber optic, this kind of wire that is transferring light instead of electrical signal. And we have, of course, the wireless. You know what is wireless? We are familiar with it. These are the main three type of the media now in the that we are using in the in any network. Now, network representation. This is how we are going to represent the network. End device is one of these symbols. Again, I'm going to draw it like this. Router is going to be like this. Switch, I'm going to present it like this. Of course, in the lecture, you're going to see it, one of these symbols. These are intermediate device, wireless router. We have LAN switch, router, firewall, and multi-layer switch. And finally, the network media. This is the wireless, how we're going to represent the wireless. And we have the LAN, and we have WAN. We're going to talk about WAN in a few moments. Now, network topology. Network topology is the map for the network. We are going to work closely with network topology. We have different type of network topology. There is physical topology. Physical topology is about physically. We have a building map, and where is each device in which room, and how the wire are moving between one building and another, and between room and another room. This is about the physical. About physical, what is there. But we are not interested in this. Of course, it is important. We are going, but most of the time we are going to spend it in the logical diagram. This is the logical diagram. Logical diagram is showing you the devices, how they are connected. Not physically where is each device. No, that only which device is connected to which device. Type of network. We have two most common type of network, which are LAN and WAN. LAN is local area network. This is K. And WAN is what? Wide area network. Yes, that's correct. Just a moment. Okay, return back. Local area network and wide area network. Now, other type of network, including MAN and wireless LAN and SAN. This is for storage area networks. Anyway, we are going to focus only on this, mainly actually on this. Now, what is local area network? Local area network is any network that is owned by one entity. Like we're talking about your house, the network inside your house, the computer, the wireless router, is it yours or owned by the same house or what? It is one entity because it is one house. When we talk about Sohar University network also owned by what? Sohar University. So this is LAN. It is one network that all inter-network devices is owned by the same entity. This is the definition for local area network. So local area network could be small, like your house, or could be big, like our campus network. If we connect two networks together, this will be what? This will be one. Good example about one is if we connect our campus with another university campus, this become what? One. Or let's say if there is a university that have more than one campus, like one in, let's say, Sahara and another one in Muscat or Dubai, then they are connected together. This become what? One. Bank Muscat have more than one branch. Any bank actually have more than one branch, and all these branches are connected together using what? One. Yes. Usually the one connection here is owned by a third party. Someone else on this one connection can provide, and usually provide by the ISP, Internet Service Provider, like Omantel or Norris. They are providing the one connection. All together, LAN and WAN and blah blah blah, everything become what? Yeah, it's become the internet. All together, it's become the internet. Okay, this is the internet. Several networks LAN together connecting in one connection has become internet. Now look at this. This is the difference between intranet, extranet, and the internet. Intranet is company only. Can you give me an example about intranet that we have? Do we have intranet? Yeah, what is the intranet? Our intranet? No, not on our mobile. Now, do we have a website in our university that can be used only inside our university? The website, when you open your browser by default in the lab, it is opened on the intranet. The blue website that you have, this is intranet. Okay? And can be used only internally inside our campus. Can you use it outside your campus? What about extranet? What is extranet? Extranet is another website that can be used by collaborators, customers, suppliers, usually. But good example about it in our university is the registration website. Registration website can be used from outside the campus, and it is affecting the data that is on the servers, the data server or the database server that we have inside our university. So it is like something like open window from outside that people can from outside the campus enter and do some services or do some work from outside. Like for example, you registering in the courses or changing some information. And the internet is the worldwide. Everything that is available to the worldwide. Anyone can use it. This is the internet. So these are the three levels. Now, internet access technology. Let me ask you something. How you usually access the internet? How you use the internet? I mean, there is internet, is that right? And you must access it. How you access it? Now, Google is a search engine. Let's be more specific. The service provider usually provide you with access methodology or access services that you can use to access the internet. You can access the internet actually from this, look, by ADSL or DSL, cables, cellular like you have in your mobile. You have a 3G plan in your mobile that you can access the internet any time. And Dial-up telephone, no one is using it anymore. Satellite also is used usually by the airplanes and the ships in the sea. They use the satellite communication to accessing the internet. This is usually the method that you can access the internet, and they are provided by what? Internet service provider. Internet service provider is providing it, and this provide direct connection to the internet. Now, connection options. We have different connection options. Dedicated lease line. This type of connection is a little bit more expensive. It is a lease line, dedicated lease line for a specific user or the specific company that they can use it for internet access or VPN connection. Metro Ethernet, this is a very fast Ethernet that is usually come with fiber optic, and we have DSL. DSL, this is the common way of connecting to the internet. Of course, we have still satellite. Satellite is not common here in Oman, but usually it is very common in the marine industry. The ships usually using this type of connection. Expanding the network. Now this is the last part in this chapter. We are going to talk about some of the top 10s include bringing your own device, online collaboration, video, and the cloud computing. Now, bring your own device. Now, look at me now. What do I have? I have here a computer is provided by the university. And I'm using what? I'm using laptop. This laptop is my laptop. I'm using it. Why I'm using this laptop? Because this is my laptop. I like to use it. I know everything about this laptop. I've installed the softwares. I'm more comfortable to use this device. Now, this is happening everywhere. People like to use their own devices. When they go work, they like to use their own mobiles. Because the mobile that they purchase have several applications, have all the contact. People like it. It's not like few years ago. Few years ago, there was no one bringing laptop to the work. Everyone was depending on the computer that is providing by the employer. Even now, still some people are preferring to use the traditional way. They have a desktop computer in their office and they use it. For me, no, I prefer to use my laptop because I like to finish sometime my work at the home. Even you in the lab here when you enter university, you usually use the device that's provided by university. But how about using your own laptop? Some students are doing it. They are bringing their own laptop and they working on it. They don't use the computer that's in the lab. I'm supporting this. Now, this is something that need to be discussed. It's about how you're going to allow it to happen. You need to consider the security, you need to consider the environment, the softwares that you're going to install. All these need to be reconsidered. How you're going to provide the services. Online collaboration and consideration. Now, online collaboration is about doing your job or have a meeting. I give you an example about online collaboration. I have a friend who's living in Auckland, New Zealand, and his wife is a university lecturer. Now, his wife delivered a baby during the semester, and she couldn't go to the university and provide the lecture for like several months. There was important lecture that she need to provide to her student. What she did from her home, while she's sitting at her home, she just opened the laptop with the webcam with the presentation and provide the lecture online. So students were sitting at the university and she was sitting at her home and provide the lecture. She was sitting at her home taking care of her newborn baby and at the same time provide A lecture. Yeah, this is great. This is about online collaboration. A student who want to ask something, they can online do it. We will do it in the next lectures, in the upcoming lectures. I'm going to provide some lectures online. You can watch the lecture from your mobile, real time. You'll see it in the upcoming lectures. Another example, I have another friend work at a big international company in Dubai. He's a regional sales manager. Usually he prefers to do his work from his house. Most of the time he spent his time in his house. He working while he wearing his pajama. He enjoy it, drinking tea, like watching the bird from the balcony and working, send emails and working. And his secretary also work from home. No one in the office. All his team, they working from home. When they want to talk together, they talk through internet. When they want to discuss a document, they using cloud computer, like we did in the lab. In the lab, we work on the Google Docs. Is that right? Now, in the Google Docs, what we did actually, you create a document using Google Drive. Is that right? Now, this document, where it is now? You create it in the university PC in the lab. Now it is on the cloud. You was accessing this document from the PC. Now, can you access the same document now from your mobile? Yes, you can. You can access the same document from mobile, on tablet, from anywhere. So, this is about the new collaboration. You can have online meeting, hangout, send messages, receive messages, working on the documents. All can be done online. Now, video communications become more popular day by day. For me now, I'm usually want to search for new information, how to do something. The first thing that I'm going to do is search in YouTube about the video for showing me how to do specific things. I assume that you also do that. Now look at this. This is very interesting graph that you can have here. This is about population. This represents population growing around the world. This line represents the internet users that we have. If you can see, in 2001, there was only 250 million internet user wide world. Now look here. We have now what? 2 billion internet in 2012. Internet video accounts for 40% of the consumer internet traffic. In 2012, the video is consuming about 40% of the traffic. 40% of the traffic is YouTube and Netflix and the other. It is all video. In 2012 is going to be what? If you don't see it, I'm going to zoom it. It's going to be what? Yeah, it is growing. Video is growing day by day. People using more video. Video communication, we're still making phone calls without video. Probably in the future, everyone is going to use the video calls. Cloud computing, we talked about it. We had example in the lab at how we create a document here in the cloud, and you can access it from any device. It is reducing, it is really have direct effect on the price, the cost, the security. Cloud computing is the future. Now, data center. Data center is the facility used to house a computer system and associated component. Usually, the data center is the place when you keep your data in. They have the servers, database, all your application that you use in a specific organization. For example, here in our university, we have a data center. In this data center, we have some important application, like the application that you use to register in the courses. Another application called e-register that we use for entering the marks, attendance, everything, all the information about you. Now, for every organization, these are a variable asset that need to be protected. So how are you going to protect a data center and how are you going to run the data center? For running the data center, you need redundant data communication connection. You're not going to depend on single internet service provider. You need at least 2 or 3 internet service provider. In case there is a failure with one internet service provider, then you have another connection. You need to have high-speed virtual servers. Sometimes they are referred as server farms or server cluster. These are very expensive piece of hardware. You need to have redundant storage. Why redundant storage? If you store any data, you must store it in another place. Because if there is any failure that happened with the storage device, at least you have another copy of it. You need to make sure about the backup. Do a backup in the tapes, in the DVDs, or cloud backup, protecting your data from any disaster that could happen, like a fire, any disaster, flood, whatever. Power supply. You need to have more than one power supply, like a battery for protecting. Maybe another backup generator if there is a cut in the power supply. You need to have environmental control, air conditioning, fire suppression, security device, physical security device for entering, and security device for protecting the data, like a firewall or this stuff. So anyway, running a data center could be very expensive for organizations, especially for a small to medium business site, like we have here, or any company that is around us. Probably, of course, we have a data center. Sohar Aluminium have a data center here. Valley have a data center. Refinery probably they have their own data center. Running the data center, beside all these parameters that we discussed, it could be very expensive for human factor. Like for running a data center, probably you're going to need 3 people to run it. One network engineer, security engineer, system engineer, and you are going to pay a lot of money for these people. The data center now in these days is similar to the electricity at the beginning. When they first invent the electricity, like at the end of the 18th centuries, commercial electricity, every university around the world, or every university that have electricity, was using its own generator for generating the power. And they have to get their own standardization. They must care of the redundancy generator. They have take care of the supplying with the fuel, maintenance. All this stuff was a headache. Then someone came out at one day and say that I'm going to build a big electricity plant and I'm going to sell electricity for you, sell it as a service instead of having your own generator. And this is how it starts. Now everyone is buying electricity from the main supplier. No one is generating electricity anymore. This is the same concept that we have in the network. People are moving to have a common data center, like a national data center, regional data center, that they can share it. It will be less expensive, are more secure and better. Also, it's about security. Instead, you're having your own security and pay a lot of money on the settlement security. Data center can have the highest or the best security protocols, and they're going to share it. Now, security is also one of the concerns about the future. How are we going to secure our networks? Now, security threats. We have several security threats. Probably you are common with this. You know what is virus, worm, Trojan horse. All these are known by you. Spyware, adware. There is other type of attack, zero-day attack, called zero-hour attack sometime. We have hacker attacks, denial of service, data interception, and thief and identity thief. These are the main security threats in these days. We usually try to install adware in our computers, antivirus, just to protect ourselves from these type of attacks. And day by day, it is becoming more threatful. If you follow the news, you can hear about what is happening now in the world. Every day, you read in the news, hear in the news that there is some major threats happening around the world. Now, what is the security solution for this? Antivirus is one of the security solutions. Anti-spyware is another solution. Probably you are familiar with this because you have it in your PC. Firewall filtering. This is something that is provided by your network provider. Dedicated firewall system, also access command list, intrusion prevention system, and VPN. I think you come on only with the first one. The other, we are going to study it during this semester, or at least we talk a little bit about it. By the way, I really encourage you, if any terminology from these that you don't understand, that you never heard about it, go to the internet and search for it. Search for denial of service. What is denial of service? What is data inception? What they mean by it? Try to Google it. Just see what is. Also this. Anything that you don't understand here, you never heard about it, try to Google it. Cisco network architecture. Cisco came with a network architecture that looks like this. It's about collaboration, data center virtualization, and borderless network. We can achieve this by several methodologies. Collaboration architecture, we talked about this. This is about collaboration, how people are going to collaborate. They're going to use, or they are using actually, voice over IP, telepresentation for meeting, online conferencing, messaging like WhatsApp, other type of messaging, and mobile applications. This is all tools that are used by the people around the world for communication. Now this is the last part of, actually we finish our lecture, but I just want to talk briefly about this. Now this course, we are going to follow the Cisco Network Academy curriculum, and we discussed this before. Now Cisco Network Academy, what you can get benefit from it, just to remind you, we discussed this before, and I'm going to talk a little bit more now. It is about like a pyramid. The knowledge in this path is like a pyramid. So you are now here. You are learning the base. I'm going to teach you this, the entry level. And a little bit with association level. You must finish the rest by yourself. Every level that you finish, there is a certificate that you can take. You do one exam or sometimes several exams, and you get a certificate. This certificate will help you a lot in the future career. It will help you in finding a job. It will help you to understand the what is happening around you in the world. Okay, the latest technology, all this stuff. I encourage you to go forward and take the certificate, and you can easily get it from our university. So this is the summary. That's it. Any questions?